Halt then, knave. Yorkie of the Shire stands before you, asking, art thou friend or foe? If thou art friend, then join me as we return to Golarion. Small Pathfinder, Wrath of the Righteous. Right now we're in the market square. We've rescued Ember, the storyteller, Ninio. And we have more to do here. Mentioning Ninio and Ember, I'm thinking of hiring another mercenary. I'm a magic user. You see, I have 4 options of magic user at the moment. I don't want any of them, really. Some for skill reasons, or they have available reasons.
This is my kind of work.
Some
follow my steps.
For roleplay reasons, sticking in our characters. Let me deal with them one by one. I like Ember, but she's a witch. Witches cannot do haste, one of the most important spells there is. I could use scrolls, of course, but that means remembering to buy them each time.
So is restless.
And remembering to use them.
I wonder why.
And if there's one thing any of you know about me, it should be that I am prone to forget scrolls, etc. Where are we? Yes, you. Memorize. Oh, copy. Copy. Ah, we didn't pick up what's here. I've actually tried this twice already, and it's overheated the PC in the exact same sentence, or the same conversation, both times. Did we not pick it up? Yes, we did. Oh, you need that. I don't want you burning anymore. There we are. Copy. And then verifier. For now. Wait, ×2, okay. For now, because of what we're about to find, I need you to have a magical weapon. Although that won't
someone else
help.
should use it.
That might not actually help.
A bright future awaits
You're
us.
fine.
I'm all ears.
You can do
I do
nothing.
things my way.
You're
Come
fine.
here. Where else would
You're
I be?
fine.
This
You're
war
fine.
must end.
Go.
Over here
Go.
Did we retreat already?
is this thing. Right.
Let's just sit here.
Oh, that was not good. That was not good. That was Sealer dead. This isn't going to work without her. It might do.
You've crossed the wrong
He can't do anything. They're immune. Obscura can hit, but probably won't do any damage.
Cover me.
See, it's reduced. They have damage reduction on all elements and on cold iron, and it's immune, I believe, to non-magic.
Cover me, all right?
Saving throws. And it failed, so it's open on saving throws now.
Attack!
And literally cannot do anything.
Stab their backs.
See, that they can hit, but not do anything. The dog can't help.
Stab you or zap you? Why not both?
Ember. Saved.
Aim carefully.
I'll loot your corpse.
Oh, you did 1 damage at least. That's something.
Distract them from me.
So really, with Sealer dead, it's going to just be Walger who does anything useful.
Forwards! You won't
Oh, I
survive
didn't
me.
need to do that because he can't hurt her.
Your death
Or hurt
awaits.
it. Oh, can you? You
Time
can.
to share your treasures.
A solid plan.
Cover me.
No, Thunder can't do anything.
Cover me, all right?
Walger can with his magical weapon, and that's about all. Got him. He'd already killed these. These fights must have been caught off guard by this thing. We know. And if you don't kill him, he has control over here,
Forget it.
which I discovered. Launches things at you.
Pretty good, aren't I?
So I've told you why not Ember. Mentioning Ember. Next up, Nino. Playstyle. I think I've already covered the fact that I'm prone to getting scrolls. And therefore, a scroll servant is kind of below par. Because they're good with scrolls, which I seldom remember to use. Also, Ninio makes my knuckles itch. I'm sorry, there's nothing wrong with being a nerd or a jock. But she's such an ivory tower one that,
Let's head out.
yeah, let's not go further with that conversation.
Can't hide
How
from me.
oblivious she is annoying. Perhaps because it reminds me of me. Thank the gods, I found someone who isn't fleeing in panic. Are you crusaders, mercenaries, or commonly half-elf yourself frightened? He can barely get the words out. I'm a servant of Count Darren Kale Nevis Arandae. My lord's mansion is under attack by the demons. The master himself and all his guests are trapped inside, and the house guards are nowhere to be found. I managed to escape through the servants' passage to look for help. Will you help me? The mansion is only a stone's throw away. Absolutely. You've heard about Arandae family before. This wealthy and noble Nebendevian dynasty was almost wiped out by demons more than 10 years ago. The last surviving member of the family, young Count Darren, has an infamous reputation. He's well known as a rake and a rogue. Nonetheless, we'll help.
Tread lightly.
Not yet, though. We need to finish in a square. And this is a big body Terendelev, yes.
Time to rob them
Oh.
of their treasures.
I'm gone.
I was forgetting. Healer's dead. That can't exist as an option. It's a fact. Whatever.
Follow my steps.
The demon invasion transformed all Canterbury's into one giant battlefield, but nowhere in the city suffered as much as the square. This place saw a clash of titans, Demon Lord Descari, leading his hordes of the Abyss, and the Dragon Terendelev, the mightiest of the city's defenders, and one of the first to fall. The scene of destruction leaves no doubt as to the battle's outcome. A skilled scout could recreate the course of the battle moment by moment simply by looking at the ruins. From the chimneys torn down by powerful wings in a sharp dive, to the bloody tracks left behind when the demon dragged away the noble reptile's broken body. But it is no hypothetical scout gazing over the ruins, it is Sir Yorkie, and he's not alone. The shadow of a strange, barely perceptible presence lingers over this place. Like a gaze untethered from the observer, this mysterious force, unknown to mortal kind, silently assesses, judges, and seeks a better way. In an instant, Sir Yorkie is vested with this power and looks at the world with its eyes. The present, past, and future stand before him as a unified whole, an unmoving, multifaceted crystal that would be beautiful were it not for the fractures, blemishes, and flecks marring its surface. What past does he see? In the past exists the one who wielded this gaze in life, although the one and the life are in opposite terms for eons, the supernatural embodiments of cosmic balance, rather than who or what. A better word for these entities is how. This eon appeared from outside this world, from the great beyond, to put an end to the intermingling of planes and destroy the worldwound. The chasm disrupting the order of the multiverse. The last visitor from beyond proved too weak for the battle they came to fight. They even failed to finish casting the spell that would have sent Descari back to the Abyss. With one swing of his scythe, the Demon Lord cut the Aeon down. What present does he see? Ruins, blood, corpses. None of this perturbs the Aeon's dispassionate gaze. The living are alive, the dead will be judged by pharasma, all is as it should be. But the demons, circling in the sky or prowling through the streets, create a jarring juxtaposition. They should not be here. The world of mortals is for mortals. The demon's place is the demon's world. How sublime the world would be if everything in it knew its place. But even the demons aren't as abhorrent as the sharp-edged, unassuming crystal languishing in the dirt among the bricks and smashed cobblestones. No mortal would notice it. But to the Aeon's eyes, its mere existence is an outrage against universal laws. The Aeon still existed. They would not stop until the crystal was unmade. But the Aeon is gone, and only their gaze remains. So Yorkie picks the crystal up out of the dirt and stows it in his pocket. He's mortal, which means he has the power to decide what to do with it. Purple stone knife. What future does he see? Good and evil, order and chaos, everything in its lawful place in the multiverse, and is no longer trespassing where it does not belong. Nothing is disrupting the smooth and steady current of the river of souls from life into death, and back to life again. The reality, rid of its flaws, is now perfect, and the eons withdraw to eternally admire its beauty. It shall never be threatened again. After allowing the hero to view the world through its eyes, The little that remained of the destroyed Aeon is killed. Aeon is killed even appropriate here. An entity that is so far removed from life and death as we understand them. Used up its last vestiges of energy. Now they are ready to disperse into nothingness. Unless someone decides to persevere or preserve the Aeon within themselves. Will the hero take on this power, so that he may again look on the world through another's eyes, or will he allow it to vanish? No, we'll retain it. The spirit of Aeon dwells out of sight deep into Yorkie's soul, like a pair of magical spectacles, stowed away until the moment when the hero once again needs to look at the world through another's eyes. Good.
Let's head out.
My beloved brother, I admire your seal, of course. But would you not agree this is hardly the time to be standing over a hole that no one will emerge from? Or perhaps you're concerned that someone will decide to go for a nighttime stroll and will accidentally fall into it. Such foresight is laudable, but do you really need so many soldiers for such a task? Can't your warriors be put to much better use, for instance, fighting demons or clearing rubble, while the people trapped beneath it might still be alive? Fate of the golden-curled Aasimar is beautiful, even by the standards of his own kind, in whose veins runs the blood of angels. His melodious voice sounds cheerful, but bitter reproach shimmers in his gaze. Don't you dare call me brother heretic. The signs of recent hard fighting are obvious in this stern old man. His armour is dented and covered in blood, and his unnatural pallor suggests something more dangerous than wounds inflicted by claws or fangs. Nevertheless, his gaze is stony and his voice, accustomed to barking orders, is harsh and clipped. How dare you accuse me of doing nothing to protect this city? Especially now when followers of your temple were caught committing treason. To my mind, you're no different than the demon worshippers, those miscreants, those beasts that are digging under the city walls. Everyone knows, my dearest Prelate, that your zealous pursuit of order in the city, you have long since forgotten how to tell friend from foe, and good from evil. That's what happened with my adepts, whose act of treason was a genuine attempt to save the city. Yet again I am forced to repeat myself. While we are wasting time on pointless quarrels, people are dying under the rubble of our city. People whom we could have saved if you had only set your soldiers to the task and not kept them here. Harmless. Well, if it's on your say-so, then that must mean there are people down there. Your associates, no doubt. And they're just waiting for us to abandon our post before they slink out again. The old man notices your approach. And you, I remember you. You appeared in my city the day demons attacked and Terendlev died. Yes, you have been an ass. What are you doing here? Answer at once or I'll have you strung up by your ankles before you know it. You can try, Holron. Don't think that the demons have wounded me. I still have enough strength to take on 100 of you. And what is this hideous creature? Holron peers at Lan with suspicion. Lan at your service, the mongrel ducks his head with a bow. My forebears fought in the First Crusade. I've lived in Canabres my whole life. You haven't ever seen me before? It must be because you don't ever venture into our underground district. We've been meaning to complain to the city authorities that our paving stones have been in need of repair for a long time. The First Crusade, so you're a mongrel, You obviously know human speech. Surprisingly well, in fact. Alright, let's be off with you. If you cause any trouble, I shall hold you responsible. Come to think of it, you still haven't told me who you are. I'm a crusader. I'm fighting to liberate Canabres from the demons. A crusader, you say? I'll be looking into that. You obviously don't know whom you're speaking to. I'm the one who decides who's a crusader and a traitor in this city. Ulrun Shepok, Prelate of Canabres. By the grace of Her Majesty Galfrey. And as we see, you've done such a sterling job protecting the city. The gold-curled Aasimar flashes a flinty smile. I'm Remian of Edme, prior to the Temple of Desnan, which alas currently lies within ruins. The wise Holron here believes it's vital to guard this hole in the ground from which certain demons will emerge at any moment. I've been trying to convince him the city has far more urgent matters to deal with. For instance, rescuing those currently dying under the rubble. You know what? There may be one matter which is more important than guarding this hole. I've put it off, and look where it's led us. I should have had you hung from the gates back when you dared defend your gang of delinquent demon collaborators. If the Sarkorians had hanged the real Vorlesh while they had the chance, there never would have been a war. I won't repeat their mistake. I won't hesitate any longer. Soldiers, see this scum. Prelate, see reason. These are frightening times, but threatening to hang someone without trial, that is unworthy of a servant of Arandae. The old man fixes his eyes on Seela. Lest you forget, girl, we may save the same goddess, but you are not an inquisitor. Don't question the way I choose to serve Arandae, and I won't question yours. Behold, Inquisitor, I bear the gift of an angel who died in the cave below Canabres. I am no enemy of yours. The old man frowns and whispers something, a prayer or a spell. With each word, his face relaxes. You are telling the truth. The light in your hand was wrought by the power of heaven. I will keep an open mind with regard to you, stranger, and later, under less fractious circumstances, I'd like to ask you about how you came to such a gift. But that can wait. Now I must deal with this filth once and for all. Don't lay a finger on him or you'll answer to me. The Aasimar holds up his hands in a placating gesture. Stop. You are the defenders of what remains of Canabres. Can't you think of anything better to do than beat each other's throats? You're a fool, Hulrun. You're a zealot and a murderer, but you're a fool first and foremost. I told you that the wardstone was weakened. You wouldn't listen. I warned you that the city was going to be attacked. You shooed me away. The truth is that my young adepts were trying to save the wardstone, and you stopped them. Of course, those truly responsible for this tragedy are the demons, but you have done nothing to prevent it, and now you would rather kill an innocent person and perish yourself than admit you were wrong, as always. With a wave of his hand, the Aasimar vanishes. He fled, the heretic. He's no doubt expecting me to rush off in pursuit, but that won't work on me. Are you stupid or just lazy? Ulrun turns his attention to you. I'm not saying you should chase him, but I'm just going to stand here doing nothing is not exactly helpful. What about you? If you truly have been marked out for the gift of heaven, this is your chance to save the city. Go and bring that felty traitor back. I am most certain that he and his cronies were helping the demons, either knowingly or unknowingly. An attempt to bewitch a wardstone is clear proof. Ramian must be captured. Ramian really warned you about the stones? Those crazed Desnans were always bursting into my study, with their incoherent policies that came to them in the dreams. I won't lie, sometimes what they said did come to pass. But can we rely on the woolly dreams of heretics over the cold hard facts of intelligence reports? Plenty of demons could have easily fooled them and whispered the treasonous plan in their dreams, and these lunatics would have only been too happy to listen. This time Mr. Curls for Brains came to me and declared that the demons were about to attack the city and that the wardstone's power was diminished by some kind of contamination or taint. Arandae, forgive me for even repeating the words. After uttering such blasphemy, he should have been locked up along with his followers and interrogated. But instead, I simply increased the surveillance on them. And what next? My people caught them red-handed trying to attack the wardstone with unknown magic. So he warned you there was going to be an attack, you did precisely nothing, and then he and his followers tried to do something. They may have been stupid in their actions, but, yeah. And what next? My people got... okay. And not 3 days later, the demons attacked the city. Like he said. There's an obvious connection between these events. Whether deliberately or under demonic influence, the Desnans played right into the hands of Discari's hordes, and they almost left the city completely defenseless. Ramian covered for his people the whole time and helped them escape my guards. After that, what else can he be but a traitor? Why are you obsessed with finding enemies everywhere you look? Why? You must not be from these parts, or you wouldn't have asked such questions. I look for enemies everywhere because our enemies are everywhere. Who are we at war with? Demons. Demons and cultists. They're masters of deception. They worm their way into your favour and masquerade in all manner of false guises. Do you think Dresden was taken by force? No, by trickery. Were it not for me, Canabres would have gone the same way. Captured out from under our noses. Now listen to what I'm about to tell you. This was a long time ago. I was very young then, and I had just joined the crusade. Back then, Canabres didn't have a garrison, so much as a public thoroughfare. Anyone who wanted could just stroll into the city. One day at dawn, a group of refugees came to the city gates, bold as brass. The guards let them in. And why not? For no one was ever turned away. It was no matter. Everyone was welcome in our city, if you came from Mendev, or if you hauled yourself here from across the seas. Crusade accepted all and sundry, but on this occasion we paid dearly for our laxity. Just as soon as those innocent lambs entered the city, they transformed into demons and rushed towards the wardstone, slaughtering everyone who tried to stop them. 62 people died in less than a minute. The demons used their mutilated corpses to desecrate the obelisk. None of them dared go near it. The light of the goddess burned them all, so they threw the blood from afar, spattering the wardstone from every angle. And the lead demon, the eyeless beast, Minago is her name, jeered and gloated, saying we mortals had been sitting ducks. The creature was right too. We let our guard down and we got what we deserved. That bloodbath came to be known as the Red Morning Massacre. Yes, the storyteller mentioned it, just he didn't labour the point as much as you have. And it was burned into the townsfolk's memories. Since then, Canabres has adopted different practices: heretics, cultists, spies. All the rabble who coveted Arilo's glory, we drove them all out of the city. We haven't had any trouble here since. Many have come here, and even the Bailo Karamzede, and they all have been sent straight back to where they came from. Or else they were killed for their trouble. You see, Descartes himself had to crawl out of the abyss and come here. The goddess cursed him in order to break through our defences, and what did he do? He left again. Where can I find Remian? I'm really not caring if he has suffered in battle. I should do, but, yes, well. How should I know? The weasel can't have gone far. He turned invisible. He's probably hunkered down in some hole, like the traitorous little rat he is, and he'll be sitting, trembling, and waiting until he's dragged out of here. With the Prelate after you, that seems the only sensible thing to do. It's what I'd do. I'm sure lots of things sound sensible to you. And it works too. As you can see, I'm still here. I have to go. Well then, if you have to, it would be good if you could return with the head of that scum. Ember peers intently at Holron. I remember you. When Father and I arrived in the city, you met us. What is this gibberish? If I have nothing better to do than arrange meetings with vagrants. But it's true. You and the other knights tied us to stakes and started lighting bonfires. Father died, and then one of your knights changed his mind and pulled me from the flames, and then he died too. Don't you remember? If you were burned, then it's with good reason. If you say some traitor helped you escape the fire, that is a crime in itself, which means that you have been evading justice all these years. If it weren't for the invasion, I would review your case and see that your sentence was fully fulfilled. You're lucky that we have more important matters to deal with right now. He didn't look the way he does now, all wrinkled and grey. He was young with a big moustache. Ember smiles broadly and draws a large buzzing moustache in the air with her fingers. He probably forgot all about me. It was a long time ago. But I do want to say one thing. I'm not cross with him. The knight is a true hero. He just really wanted to protect the city. Only he got all mixed up about who was good and who was evil. You forgive him after what he did to you? I thought he was doing the right thing. How do you know? Maybe you've done something thinking it was a good thing, but you were really doing a bad thing and to hurt someone. But what if I've done the same thing? You can't get angry at people for making mistakes when you might be no better than them. Well run. You sent an innocent child to be burned at the stake. Don't you want to ask forgiveness? Ah, hardly. Anyone can look innocent. How this girl managed to survive the fire. And what about that crow that's always flying around her? I advise you to take a closer look at this innocent little lamb of yours. If you ask me, she looks highly suspicious indeed. Let's go, Ember. Bye-bye, kind Sir Knight. She's perplexing.
Let us be careful. Attack!
Let's save the game there. Although that conversation with the Prelate was the one that had crashed things before, so I think we're safe.
Tread lightly.
Now. Oh. I know where he's gone. He's gone up to the church, hasn't he? He's the priest of Desnan for instance. Why wouldn't he go there? There he is. The gold-curled Asimir greets you with a graceful bow. So you found me. I have nowhere else to run. I'm at your mercy. Kill me if you wish. Ask you to hear me out first. Did you really know about the demon attack before it happened? I did. We have a secret ally in the enemy's ranks. No one knows who this brave soul is, but she has been feeding us information about the demon's plans. These dispatches have come to us by the most reliable channel bestowed upon us by the great dreamer herself. They've come to us in dreams. You know, I've dreamed about many things. It doesn't make them real. Prelate's whole room brush them off as simply meaningless revelries. And while I admit that it isn't always easy to distinguish between our allies' messages and ordinary dreams, but even ordinary dreams are gifts from Desnan, not Desnan, and are always worthy of attention. The Prelate, and all the Crusade leaders for that matter, that have put less stock in reason and more in intuition, inspiration and spontaneity. What's more, not long before the attack on the city, a blind elf who called himself Storyteller arrived in Canabres. The Wanderer wasn't merely a collector of legends, but I've met him. Not all dreams have benign origins. What if those dreams were sent by demons? In a different time and place, someone perhaps could have been the victim of false dreams sent by monsters, but here in the war with the Abyss, Goddess is keeping a close eye on her most faithful followers. If you say so. Tell me about the strange rituals that were performed on the wardstone. When my attempt to open Holrun's eyes ended in failure, a few of my young adepts resolved to take matters into their own hands. They did not consult me before doing so, but I have never demanded iron discipline from my priests. Army commanders may have subordinates, but I have pupils and fellow worshippers. I can only inspire them, I cannot command them. It seems they were inspired all on their own. In other words, you get to preach whatever you want and you don't have to take any responsibility for your flock. Really got it made. For pity's sake, how can I be held responsible for the action of others? These are not children we're talking about here. They are grown adults, endowed with their own free will. Praise the goddess. Of course, we all help one another, but in final reckoning, each of us decides how we will act. And each must answer for those choices. They had no ill intent, they only wished to access the wardstone in secret and tried to cleanse it. But to Holrun this became perform a suspect ritual after hearing even more suspect voices in their dreams. The children wanted to save the city, but I thought you said they weren't children. Well, the Inquisitors detained them. I almost killed them. I had to intervene. I used my authority and my power as a cleric to give them a chance to flee. They had gotten away. They were destined for a cell in the Prelate's dungeon, and quite likely death. Why are you and Holrun feuding? Oh, I'm not feuding with him. I sincerely wish only the best for the man. In an ideal world, he'd be far away from the front lines, enjoying a peaceful retirement. But even if that isn't possible, I have always tried to help him fulfill mission he has taken upon himself, and to which he has proved fatally ill-suited, protecting Canabres against the demons. Unfortunately, he is convinced that the followers of Desnan are heretics and they're saboteurs. He refused to listen to me, and it was only the knightly orders that deterred him from including us in his witch hunt. Now there is clearly no one left standing in his way. He is finally getting ready to get rid of us, once and for all. Any chance to resolve the conflict? I don't know. Holden's faith is truly formidable. Not only his faith in Omedi, but in his own infallibility. In other words, he's as hard-headed as a rock troll. Fair enough. Talk to him, try to explain it. I'll try. Why haven't you gone somewhere safer? Because people might need help, and they will come to the temple in search of a priest. I will not hide away in a hole, saving my own neck. I have to go. Wait, 3 of my adepts are hiding somewhere in the ruins of the city. The ones the Inquisitors wrongly accuse of treason. I beg you, find them and protect them against the demons and vigilantes like Hullrun. They'll not rest until they find them. If there's anything else you can do to save Knabres, please do it. Was coming, or what? Stranger, wait. You spared Ramian despite what the Mad Inquisitor told you. The young voice comes from nowhere. Oh, hang on. I forgot to remove the spell. I hope Hullrun's dogs aren't lurking nearby. A pale youth materializes before you. His face looks haggard from lack of sleep, but he is clearly pleased to be speaking to someone. So you're one of the Desnan adepts that tried to break into the Wardstone? Yes, I'm Ilka's cleric of Desna. I'm one of the people who answered the voice of the call of the voice in dreams. Some unknown person made contact with us through our dreams, telling us about the demons' plans. We learned about that the demons were planning to attack Knabres and do something terrible to our Wardstone, which already carries the taint of corruption. Prelate Hullrun refused to heed our warnings. Yes. Well, this Hullrun person I'm growing tired of. He is, however, the official governor of the city. What of it? Submitting to unworthy leaders is one of the great ills of our society. I agree. Law doesn't necessarily mean any chaotic law that some idiots invokes because they have power. Do you need any help? Desna teaches just one last-ditch attention. Last-ditch chances. Listen, my friends are called Aranka and Thol. Thol the Wallflower. Aranka is an amazing singer and a truly beautiful girl. She has plenty of friends and fans. She's probably blended into a crowd somewhere. Wallflower is a mage, but I don't think he'll risk using magic. It will only bring the Inquisitors down on him. He'll be harder to find. You better find Aranka first. She might know where Wallflower is. Perhaps find them and protect them against the demons and Inquisitors. I'll wait news in the Goddess's temple. I hope our mysterious helper will send us new message that will reveal what is to come from the demons. Alright, I'll do it. She'll see you around. Back here to speak to Hullrun. See if we can resolve things, which I doubt. The Inquisitor gives you an appraising look. Well, what brings you to me? I talked to Ramian, he's not your enemy. He only wants what's good for Knabres. The Inquisitor gives you a black look. I'd consider these words of admission of treason from anyone else, but I do not wish to draw my weapon against you as being given the Heaven's gift. As I won't, and I won't as long as you don't do anything worse than conniving with that rabble-rouser. I won't ask you again to kill the rabble-rouser, but as soon as we liberate the city, the demons, my faithful will hunt him down. Fine, I have to go. Go on then. Prelate, your forces are needed elsewhere. Irabeth Tirabade, warden of the city, is gathering troops in the Defender's Heart Tavern to strike against the demons. What now? Tirabade? That upstart? Warden of the city? And I suppose I've already been written off for dead. This isn't sedition, it's outright insurrection. I am loath to abandon my watch, but I can't turn a blind eye to such blatant usurpation of power. Alright then. He's joining. Back up here. Talk to Hullrun. Not Hullrun, Ramian. I'm not going to run. Kill me if you wish, but I ask you, hear me out first. I managed to calm Hullrun down a little, but he's still hell-bent on driving me out of the city. Once the demon attack has been repelled. Damien's head lowers. I suppose I should be pleased, but the idiocy, the injustice of it all. It makes my blood boil. I will leave Knabres. But not before we fight off the demons, no matter what happens. I thank you. Erebeth Tirabay of the Eagle Watch is gathering survivors in the Defenders Tavern. You'd be very useful there. Okay. That's fine, he won't go. I get it, I get it. 4,817 left.
Is that a trap? It might be a trap.
Follow my steps.
Up here. Watch it, what are you goons doing? You'll bloody crush me. A young tiefling lies trapped in the collapsed section of tunnel. Another 2 tieflings scramble around, trying in vain to free him from the rubble. Quit whining. Hey, alarm! Someone's coming. Maybe he'll help us. Wise up, would you? Before you get us killed. Let's make a run for it while we still can. No, come on, don't leave me. I'll die here. Hey guys. I see you're in a bit of a jam. Get a load of this lot and no escort either. Woljip, you little shit. How come you're not dead? And who's that with you? They're friends of mine. Great guys. Woljip turns to you out of the corner of his mouth, says, listen, do me a solid and help drag this sorry carcass free. Well, I'm not going to let him get crushed for no good reason, am I? You easily clear the rubble and free the trapped tiefling. You performed a good action. Phew, I'm alive. All in one piece, thanks, give or take. Thank you. I'll remember your kindness for the rest of my life. The freed tiefling turns to his companions. And you two clowns, I don't want to hear a word out of you. Get into the tunnel now. One trip to the Grey Garrison and back. Don't be a coward, it's not going to collapse. Go on, or else we came all this way for nothing. That ended well, didn't it? Shh. Not now. Talk later. That sounds suspicious. Alright, don't hurt us. People call us Thieflings. Well, I know, you don't need to explain. I understand. I've met Woljip. You don't need to justify. Sometimes you have to get around the rules. To follow more important rules, shall we say. I helped you. Now you can help me and Commander Tirabay to save Knabres. You what? Are you blind or something? The Thiefling points with his horns and his tail. Know what people call us? A real loose spawn. That's one of the nicer nicknames. Crusaders and Tieflings don't mix. They'll be torched on sight. Why should we risk our necks for Crusaders? Consider Beth risk our neck for ours. Save me from that creep pull run. I like her more and more. Ah, I'm not listening to this. You do what you want. I'm heading to the River Kingdoms. Go on then. I'm going with the Crusaders. And I'm going to round up the others to help. Tiefling smirks. We've made some good money in this city. It'd be a shame to surrender our meal ticket to the demons. But enough yammering, so long. And there we have another one recruited. And that's where we'll end this episode. I've been Sir Yorkie of the Shire. Been a fine companions. And this has been Pathfinder Wrath of the Righteous. If you wish to help the channel grow, please do hit the like and sub. And send a comment. I'll respond.